Hello and welcome to Rail and Rail Enthusiast and another one in our series of the Elizabeth Line Brief Tours. And this time I'll be travelling from Twyford to Burnham. Okay, so I'm starting off this leg at a very charming Twyford station. Let's have a look around and see what there is here. One thing to note that the main car park for day guests is just over there at the end of platform 4 and 5, and there is a small gate which will take you across the tracks up to that, and from that car park. Obviously stop, look and listen for trains as you're using that exit, but it is more convenient than going all the way around down the hill and up again, so very useful to know if you need to get onto the platform. Okay, then down here on platforms 4 and 5, platform 5 being the stop for Henley-on-Thames, the small little 2-car 165 unit there waiting to go in a few moments. As we move along this platform, you'll see some nice little planters which seem to be fairly new at the station, and they're slightly brightening it up. The overall look of the station is very clean. There's some seating, and there's also quite an extensive bike rack here in between platforms 4 and 5. One thing of note as you walk down will be this fabulous canopy. Very well looked after. Nice blue red design, a nice white canopy. Could do with a little bit of a clean, but I'm not complaining. Always nice to see an original canopy at a station, and as I've said, this one incredibly well looked after. Further down the station you will find the Whistle Stop Express kiosk in this little station building that's right in the middle of the platforms. Sells everything from cakes to soft drinks and of course coffees. The exit to platforms 4 and 5, you'll find a Oyster card reader, as well as obviously the end of platform 5. So this takes you out into a nice area where are taxis and the main entrance to the ticketing hall. There are also stairs here which will take you over to the other platforms. You will also find an electronic ticketing machine and another card reader just by the entrance to the station. Moving across that entrance, information boards about train times, a post box and 2 telephones, something very unusual on the network to see these days. Again, some more planters, which always makes the stations look very nice. It's also pretty well landscaped up on the embankment there, and overall gives a very charming view of a station. All platforms have dot matrix displays. From this location, you'll also be able to find another good view of these canopies, and as you can see on your right hand side here are the toilets for the station. One good thing here I've noticed is there's plenty of customer signage, which is always handy if you're in a station you don't know. On platform 4 there is also another little coffee shop right slap bang in the middle of the platform that also serves coffees, teas and some pastries. Going up the stairs will take you to this overbridge between platforms 4, 5 and 3. A very nice old construction, and also some nice views over the running lines. Here I'm looking westbound towards Reading, and on this side, eastbound towards London. Alright, now here on platform 3, some very nice planted areas here, just by the quite large shelter, and you can see another fantastic original canopy and indeed station building still sitting here on the platform. It's always very nice to see that these things are being well looked after. There is plenty of seating along the platform, and also a very nice customer waiting room, which I hope it is unlocked. Indeed it is. Oh, it's quite warm in here. Some nice new style seating. There's an information television up there. And overall, quite a nice place to sit while you're waiting for your train. As with most of these stations out west from London, there are 2 fast running lines for GWR services. The old platform is still in place for platform 1 and platform 2, although I couldn't see any access to these. Although there is no access to platform 1, you can go down the stairs, which gives you access to another entrance of the station where a bus stop is. Also some small bike racks. There is a dot matrix information board. Twyford is a very nice station along the Elizabeth line, and in fact serves as an interchange for the small branch line down to Henley-on-Thames, which certainly gives it a little bit more interest than other stations on this particular line. It's always nice to see original architecture, and this can be found on all the platforms, as well as 2 very well stocked coffee shops, and everybody was very pleasant when I visited this station. For the enthusiast, sightlines up and down the line are absolutely fantastic and should lend themselves to excellent photography or even videography. So now let's continue by taking a train eastbound towards Maidenhead. And one stop on, we find ourselves at Maidenhead, a pretty open station by the look of it. So let's go and have a little look and explore. As I can already see at the moment, there is some canopy work. I don't think it's original. It certainly doesn't look original, but I will check that out and put a little amendum if indeed it is original. As you can see from here, before I even start, views up and down the line are fantastic. As usual, major fast running lines are over there, and the normal running lines for stopping services are on this side. I'm on platforms 4 and 5 at the moment. There is plenty of seating on this platform, litter bins, and a lift which will take you over to platforms 3 and 2. Straddling platforms 4 and 5 is a coffee shop serving teas, coffees and pastries. If you move past that, you will come to the toilets, the waiting room and information point for this part of the platform. This is housed in what looks like an original building, and this canopy indeed looks rather original. Please note the windows there and the ornate lintel which is across them. Very nice indeed to see. On platform 5 there is also an old telephone which definitely seems out of order. Okay, there I've come down the stairs. I've gone through the main station building and I'm back out on the outdoor concourse at the moment to see what's out here. I'll take you inside in a moment. As you can see, there's a post box just over there. There's a taxi rank, as well as quite a substantial bike rack over the back there, and access obviously to Maidenhead town centre. This is quite a wide concourse, very nice. I mean, obviously it's a commuter station, so during the busy times I would imagine this is quite busy and it's built for that. Quite nice to see some semi-original work. I'll have to do some research, see if that is original canopy work, and I'll put down underneath if it is indeed. There's a WH Smith's which has a Costa coffee within it, which is very nice to see. Plenty of automatic ticketing machines, as well as some information on Maidenhead Station. The ticket office is fairly small but practical, and there are gate lines to the platforms. If you go through those gate lines and turn to your left, you will find a corridor here. Going down this corridor will take you to the lifts at the far end. There's one set of lifts there for customer lifts for platforms 4, 5, A and B. And carrying on down here for a little while. More station signage. You're not going to get lost here, which is fantastic. I do like to see stations that have plenty of signage. And there's lifts to platforms 2 and 3 there. And also way out, and the buses this side, as well as some stairs up to platforms 1, 2 and 3. So let's have a look and see what platforms 1, 2 and 3 have to offer. Just before I go up, there is another little gate line there. Just going to investigate to see, because that seems to be permanently open. I'm glad I did investigate coming out there. It gives you a nice view of the back end of this original station building, plus an original British Rail signage. Always nice to see the original British Rail signage. And also there's a couple of electronic ticketing machines here, as well as stairs up to platform 1. So now we're going to go through those gate line again and take ourselves up to platforms 2, 3. As an Elizabeth line train comes in, I'm now on platform 3 and 2. Of note, there is also a telephone here which is very much out of order. I'm assuming these are going to be taken out at some point because that's no use to anyone. A little bit of station signage. There is a help point and a modern waiting shelter. There is also plenty of seating and a nice wide platform, especially good for a commuter station. It's very clean, plenty of bins about, especially these bins, which I do like to see, recycling bins. They're becoming more and more prevalent upon the network. And as I go further down, something else which is becoming more and more prevalent on the network, a nice little garden area which, although very small, still brightens up this station at Maidenhead. Something unusual here at Maidenhead is that these are the fast running lines and they're not gated off, which is something you'll see along most of the line. So you can get pretty close up to trains that are going fast. Of course, always stand behind the yellow line. These trains do run at very high speeds and wind turbulence can cause you to lose your balance. As you can see, views up and down the line are very good indeed. Straight into that curve, if you've got a nice long lens, you're going to get a fantastic view from there. And likewise, looking towards the west, also a pretty good view down the running lines. A nice time here at Maidenhead. There's plenty to see. Great views up and down the line for the enthusiast, and a few quirky little original features. But now let's get back on an Elizabeth line train, travel another station eastbound. Okay, and another stop eastbound down the line now takes me to Burnham, and it's the first time we've seen an Elizabeth line roundel this morning, or should I say this afternoon now. Yes, the Elizabeth line branding seems to be on this station. Seems to be the first station outside of Reading that does seem to have so. There's the Elizabeth line branded seating, which is prevalent along the rest of the line going eastbound. There is a small little help point there with a little waiting shelter. And one thing you will notice, some fantastic views up and down the line. This is our view westbound And this station is very open. 2 platforms here, not the normal 4 some other stations have. You'll see the 2 running fast lines there. And these are the 2 local lines, or the Elizabeth line platforms. Just turn around slowly here. And here's the station. I would like to say that's an original canopy, but obviously the corrugated iron on top states it is not, but it might be the original valance. Again, something I will try and check later on. As you can see, very, very open, exceptionally open, and very good views down eastbound as well. Let's continue our little view around Burnham. As you go further down, you'll find some platform information boards. There is also a very small but relatively new waiting room, and stairs and a lift down to what would I assume is the concourse level. So let's go down there, take a look. Okay, we've just come outside. There's an Elizabeth line roundel on the entrance to the station. The station is just down there. The station car park just over the way there. As we walk back towards the station building, there is an extensive bike rack, very nice to see. There's also this rebuilt station building, I would assume. Looks very new and modern, quite pleasing to the eye. Complete with its Elizabeth line roundel, gate line and ticketing hall. Quite small, but very practical, and the perfect size for this station. And here's a look at the lifts at Burnham, taking you down to the ticketing hall. As you step out of those, you will see 2 information boards letting you know which platform to be on, whether you want to go westbound or eastbound. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, comment and subscribe. And if you can, get out there, get on the railway and see where it takes you. Thanks very much for watching.